Paris, the city of lights, love, and one unforgettable crime. In just 8 minutes, 8 priceless royal jewels vanished from the most famous museum on Earth. No alarms, no witnesses, no trace. This wasn't a movie. It was real. This is the story of the Paris Museum thief, the man who outsmarted the Louvre. Act 1. A silent morning in Paris. October 19th, 2025. It was a Sunday morning, quiet, pale, and peaceful. Paris was just waking up. The cafes were opening. Pigeons fluttered above the Seine, and the city's rhythm was calm, familiar. At the Louvre Museum, the guards made their usual rounds. The world's greatest collection of art rested in silence. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and deep inside the Galerie d'Apollon, the glittering jewels of French royalty. They had survived revolutions, wars, and centuries. But they were about to face something no one expected. A heist so quick and clean, it would rewrite museum security forever. Somewhere, on the outskirts of Paris, a small white truck rolled quietly through the mist. Inside were 4 men, dressed in black, silent, focused. Each knew his role. No talk, no noise, just precision. They weren't ordinary thieves. They were planners, professionals. For months, they had studied every camera, every guard schedule, every weak spot in the Louvre's massive security system. They even knew the exact timing when the external alarm network would reset. The target: 8 royal jewels, worth over 88 million euros. They called it the 8-minute plan. Act 2, the entry. At 6:42 a.m., when the city was still half asleep, the white truck stopped beside the Louvre's side wall. A quiet, narrow street, rarely used. The logo on the truck said maintenance service. No one passing by would think twice. From the back, they rolled out a hydraulic lift, the kind electricians use to fix streetlights. But this lift wasn't for lights. It was for a window, a small one on the 2nd floor that had been left unsecured during renovation. The men worked like ghosts. The lift rose slowly. The first man used a diamond-tipped cutter to slice through the glass. No sound, no alarm. At 6:44, they were inside. The halls of the Louvre were dark and empty. The Mona Lisa slept under layers of glass and sensors. But the thieves didn't care about her. They wanted the crown jewels. They moved through the corridors like shadows, their footsteps soft against the marble floors. The museum's motion sensors were partly disconnected, a detail they had confirmed weeks before. They reached the Galerie d'Apollon, the heart of France's royal collection. Jewels sparkled under cold white lights, guarded by glass thicker than bulletproof doors. One of the men set a timer. 8 minutes. Another unpacked the disc cutter. Sparks flew. The sound, sharp, metallic, echoed faintly through the massive hall. They worked fast, breaking open 3 display cases. One thief collected the jewels, wrapping them in black cloth and placing them in a backpack. Another kept time, whispering seconds under his breath. At 6:50, the job was done. 8 jewels gone. No alarms triggered, no guards nearby. They climbed back through the window, lowered the lift, and drove away. In the distance, the Eiffel Tower glowed faintly against the morning sky. By the time the museum's alarm system rebooted, the thieves were already gone. Act 3. The Discovery. At 7:05 a.m., a guard entered the gallery for his routine patrol. He stopped. The glass cases were shattered, jewels missing. The floor covered with glittering fragments. He froze, speechless, for a few seconds. Then he hit the panic button. Within minutes, the Louvre went into full lockdown. Visitors waiting outside were pushed back by police. Sirens wailed through central Paris. News broke worldwide within the hour. Crown jewels stolen from the Louvre in 8-minute heist. Reporters swarmed the museum gates. The director of the Louvre arrived pale-faced and silent. France had lost not just jewels, it had lost pride. Act 4. The investigation begins. Detectives comb through the gallery, searching for clues. There were no fingerprints, no footprints, no tool marks. Everything had been wiped clean. But near the broken display, one officer found a clue. A helmet left behind, cracked on one side. Inside were a few strands of hair. That was enough. The DNA was rushed to the national database. Within 48 hours, there was a match. His name wasn't released, but investigators believed he was part of a larger criminal network that operated across Europe. By October 27th, police arrested 2 men connected to the case. Both denied everything. They claimed they were hundreds of kilometers away during the robbery. But their phones told a different story. Both had pinged near central Paris at 6:30 a.m., the morning of the heist. Even so, the jewels remained missing. Act 5. Pieces of the puzzle. As days passed, more details emerged. The truck used in the heist had been stolen 2 nights earlier from a construction site on the outskirts of the city. Its license plates were swapped, its GPS tracker removed. Surveillance footage from nearby streets showed the truck leaving the area at 6:58 a.m., turning toward the river and vanishing into morning traffic. Interpol joint experts believed the jewels might have already been separated, diamonds removed, metals melted, and the pieces sold individually on the black market. The Louvre remained under heavy criticism. It was revealed that some of its 1,300 security cameras were outdated, and contracts with private security firms had expired earlier that year. For a museum that housed the Mona Lisa, it was an embarrassment beyond words. France's culture minister called it a national failure. The museum's director offered her resignation, calling the event a terrible betrayal of history. Act 6. The chase continues. At the end of October, police raided a garage in the northern suburbs of Paris. Inside, they found welding equipment, gloves, masks, and fragments of glass matching the broken display cases. 5 more suspects were arrested that week. 7 men in total, but none of them talked. No confession, no cooperation, no sign of the jewels. Investigators believe the stolen gems may have been smuggled to Belgium or the Balkans within hours of the heist, where professional jewel cutters could recut and resell them under new identities. Every day that passed made recovery less likely. One detective told reporters, "We're not chasing thieves anymore. We're chasing ghosts." And indeed, the men had disappeared just as cleanly as they had arrived, quietly, efficiently, without leaving a single trail. Whoa! Act 7. The fallout. The Louvre reopened a week later, the shattered glass replaced with silence. Visitors walked past the cases where the jewels once lay, reading small plaques that said, "Temporarily removed for restoration." But everyone knew the truth. For Parisians, it was more than a robbery. It was a wound, a reminder that even the greatest treasures are never fully safe. The French Senate demanded answers. Security budgets were doubled. New technology was promised. But some damage could never be repaired. The loss of trust, the loss of pride. The story dominated headlines for weeks, then slowly faded away, leaving behind only questions. Where are they now? As of today, none of the 8 stolen jewels have been found. Their total value is estimated at more than $100 million. Police still believe at least one suspect remains unidentified. The true mastermind behind the plan. Some say the jewels were melted down. Others whisper they were sold to a private collector in the Middle East. But no one knows for sure. The 7 arrested men remain under investigation, awaiting trial. France's greatest heist, however, remains unsolved. 8 minutes changed history, and no one saw it happen. Act 9. Reflection. Every great crime tells us something about human nature. This one speaks of patience, precision, and arrogance, the belief that even the impossible can be done if planned perfectly. The Paris Museum thief didn't use violence. He used silence. He didn't fight guards or break doors. He simply slipped in, because sometimes the quietest crimes echo the loudest. Outro. This was the Paris Museum thief, the true story of the 2025 Louvre heist. If you enjoy learning English through real stories and true crimes like this, subscribe to English Strategy and keep discovering the world through words. Because every story teaches something new, and every word brings you closer to fluency.